the whole game was defined by sensory immersion for me. If I had to pick some moments, certainly coming face to face with the ghost of a World War I soldier on the landing of the creaky old house, amongst the smells and sounds of war, that was a standout moment. And later, when we discovered that everything that was happening in the house within the game had a reason, and that reason was driven by a terrible misunderstanding, which sort of ended up being both terrifying and full of pathos for us. And I think that probably sort of covered the themes of the game, those of reconciliation and of mistaken vengeance.
There were lots of really, really good moments. There were personal moments, um, such as finding out that Harry had died. That was my brother, and my only real relative that I'd had throughout my life as a character. Um, that was quite gutting, actually, and I was actually really struggling not to properly cry and just pretend to cry. Um,
Two moments. One comes from the story design, and the other one, I think, is a technical achievement. The first is the groundwork had been laid so well for the relationships between the characters that I was able to jump straight in, and particularly straight into a family relationship with the two guys who were playing my character's brothers. But one moment in particular, looking, carol singing, looking at the guy who was playing my elder brother, and we were singing carols competitively, who could get to the highest note. And it felt there was the weight of sibling rivalry, but loving sibling rivalry, all the way back decades. And that's a testament to the quality of the other player, but particularly to the way that the story had been designed, and the materials I had beforehand, the letter from my brother. That was fantastic. The another moment on the Saturday night, walking down a long bare corridor towards the ghost of my character's 1920s silent movie star aunt, and it just felt completely real. And I was there.
There were several. The sudden, shocking transition from a late night, very earnest conversation between the four characters who are sort of peers. That transition from that conversation to immediate and extreme fright as a ghost lurched in as one of us opened the door. There was a real aha moment at the end as I discovered a very archetypal bricked up wall. And then again, another big shock as I started to take the bricks away from that wall, to be met by bright lights and howling wind issuing from it, as I could see a skeleton start to appear in the cavity. Another thing that really sums it up for me was at about 3 in the morning, screams from another player so loud that they woke me up from a good 100 yards away whilst in my room, and realising that as my character I would have to go and run towards those screams. And finally, the closing credits, projecting the closing credits onto the interior wall as we finished, really brought the event to a definite end.